Sir, unang po, pa-update po dun sa contact tracing. Of course, that's primary dun sa mga isip ng mga tao ngayon. Contact tracing ng mga taong posibleng nakasalamuhan ng mga nagpositibo.
Well, I gave them 48 hours to complete the contact tracing, which will end this afternoon. But yesterday, it was already 208 people who were contact traced. And so we still need about 35% that's missing. And so the CIDG, in coordination with our Epidemiology Bureau, has already started the contact tracing yesterday morning. So 48 hours, so mamaya mag-end.
Yes,
So
sir.
we'll just take it from there. But let me emphasize that which got missed during the Senate hearing, that the close contacts have all been contact traced.
Okay, yung mga katabi talaga.
Oh, yung four kasi may rule of four.
Yes, sir,
eh.
rule of
The four in front of the passenger who eventually tested positive, four at the back, four left, and four right.
Yes,
So
sir.
that's 16 all in all. And so these were already contact traced according to the our epidemiologists and
Yes, sir.
surveillance officers.
Yes,
But my director had taken on himself to contact trace everyone in the plane for fear that the person positive might have walked down the aisle
Yes, sir.
going to the
Certainly.
CR.
Yes, sir.
But you don't do that. When I looked at the guidelines, I'm told you did that for nCoV, where the case fatality rate is like 36%, very high. But in the SARS, it's really just the rule of four by four by four by four.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, so yung 35% na natitira pa, ito yung the rest of the passengers.
Yes, and some
Okay
of
na
them,
tayo dun sa
according to my Epidemiology Bureau Director, they had difficulty. They wanted to finish it all yesterday.
Yes, sir.
But then they had difficulty contacting them. Either wala na sila or hindi na sumasagot sa kanilang mga binigay na contact numbers.
Yes, sir. Pero sir, dun sa mga nag-close contact, meaning yung 16, yung nasa 4x4 list natin, were any of them placed under investigation because of symptoms?
Meron mga meron. The answer is yes. But the number, it's in, let's just check. Let me just check on my record. 15 of the 203 contact, home quarantine 188, first and second cases. Of the 203 contacts, 15 are symptomatic, where
Symptomatic.
14 were already isolated. So yeah,
Yes, sir.
that's right.
So when
The
you say
answer is-
symptomatic, ibig sabihin, they exhibit symptoms.
May-
Symptomatic.
Yes, they did exhibit symptoms, but it's not for sure
Not yet definite.
what it is. So they're being tested to ascertain whether they contracted the virus or not.
And these 15 are now under quarantine, is that correct?
They're in the isolation rooms of the various hospitals.
Sir, anong gagawin kung ayaw magpa-quarantine? Can we compel them?
Indeed, we have to compel them because that's in accordance with the quarantine laws of the country.
Paano yung sa contact tracing?
Yes.
How do you guarantee if they are required to self-quarantine? How do you monitor that they are complying with that?
Well, they have their numbers, and our surveillance officers, our epidemiologists, will make sure that they are contacted for fever monitoring, for signs and symptoms of coughs and colds. So meron ng close monitoring. They are now kung magkaroon. Pero sa ngayon, wala pa naman sila.
Yes, Secretary Robbie Alampay po, I wanted to just get clarification precisely on that point. What exactly happens on the ground? Once makontak itong mga tao, matrack, what's the immediate protocol? Self-quarantine muna, and then, ano po ba yung immediately na instruction sa kanila?
Well, immediate instructions for them to go to the nearest hospital. They were given a list of hospitals to go to. These are the DOH retained hospitals within the NCR. So that's initially what forms part of the advice.
And then the hospital takes it from there
Yes.
if additional advisories or leveling up of the advisory is needed.
Right, exactly. They'll be isolated and then they'll be treated accordingly. But the most important is the testing. Above all, it's the testing, because if they test positive, then the level of treatment changes to one that is very, very closely guarded.